I've almost finished this already.
I know, me
The
too.
hell, man. Do we need a little load up now? We're on the first half.
We got an early start on it, though.
I know, yeah, we got here really early. I
How
was
much is
always
left in
here.
the bottle.
That's problematic when we get an early start.
Whatever, man. We can do a little bit more. We'll steal Michael's. He says he's not very.
No, I'm making good progress.
All right.
It's 110. Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it later.
That explains it.
All right, well, folks, welcome to another episode of Dudes Like Us podcast. It's November 12th. We have a fantastic lineup. We have a fantastic guest. We're
do.
super excited about this upcoming year. We have things that happened in the past, the election. We've got some new things to look forward to. We got anything new? Football? Dallas Cowboys, shlabba-dabba-ding-dang, not happy with that
They're
program?
stinking it.
Yeah.
We can talk fantasy football.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And for any of those people out there that have a fantasy football lineup and you sit there and you look at it like a couple hours before the game starts, you're like, oh, I guess I'm all set. And then all of a sudden, 12 o'clock hits, kickoff time. Oh, by the way, you have these two players that are out. What the hell? Where did that come from?
That's
What?
called poor management.
Yeah.
Dudes Like Us, I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Michael.
Yeah, welcome to the podcast, Mike. Michael, how the hell are you?
I'm good.
And you guys met Michael up at the
We
1845
did.
studio.
Yeah,
Walk us through that.
We're at that 1845 distilling single barrel release.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Back in April. And they need to do another one. She hasn't done another one yet. But anyway, and we met Michael there, and we just talked about the podcast. He was a listener, and Paul and I were there, and it took a while, but we finally were able to schedule it, and here we are.
Yeah, we have a long list. There's such a wait. I mean, people are waiting on this to get on the show for years.
Really?
Really?
Well, how come
Wow.
I haven't been told about it?
Who's our booking agent?
Well, we said
Right.
that.
we
how
may
mu-
need to get a booking
We
agent.
do, apparently.
Yes.
Well, technically, we're booked out till almost February right now,
Wow.
and we do have a lineup. I mean, that's not bad.
It is nice. But one thing we are going to talk about on this podcast today is cookies.
Ooh,
Best topic in the world.
I like cookies, and so does my circumference.
Nice. All right, Michael, walk us through your story here.
Okay, so
What do you do?
So my wife, I'll go all the way back kind of to the beginning. My wife has a catering company, and we tell the story differently. She says that we started working on chocolate chip cookies to make one of her catering clients happy.
Okay. Just kind of like a side gig,
Yeah,
a side job.
yeah. So in my mind, I was doing it because she likes chocolate chip cookies, and I was trying to make my wife happy. So we were always trying to make the best chocolate chip cookie.
Okay.
And we settled on one that was pretty good. I took some recipes online, tweaked them a little bit, combined them, had what I thought was a pretty good chocolate chip cookie.
Okay.
So then the pandemic hits, and we kind of refined that recipe a little bit. We come out of lockup.
Lock up. Nice.
Yeah. We're in
That's
Same
actually
thing.
a perfect
That's
description
a
of COVID.
Freudian slip there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
We're in
Right.
Australia.
So so for the novice here, I don't bake cookies. Actually, that's not true. I mean, I go to the store and I get these things that come in these squares. I put them on a cookie sheet tube. They come out. So for you to say you're coming up with a recipe, for me that's strange because I've never cooked I've never cooked or baked
You
cookies
bake
from
cookies.
fresh. So I've never baked cookies. So when you come up with your own, what is the dimensions here?
So
what are cookies made of?
So cookies are butter, sugar, and flour
Okay.
at their very essence, right? When you break them down, it's some combination of that. So it's white sugar, brown sugar. Sometimes you add more, one or the other. And it was finding something that would come together, bake soft. I don't like crispy cookies.
Right,
I don't
right,
like
right.
cookies that are.
Oh,
that are
texture's everything
Yeah.
for a cookie, right?
Yeah. So I don't like cookies that are cakey. I want them to be medium rare.
Okay.
So I want it to be gooey on the
I gotta
inside.
be honest, I'm getting aroused.
Yeah, you need to kind of keep the erotic talk
Yeah.
down a little bit if you can.
So
No, go slow.
so-
Go slow.
So they have to be gooey, but the outside has to be cooked because you
Right,
don't
right.
want something to fall apart in your hand.
Yeah, no.
It's okay if you have to eat it with your hands, but you don't want it to to fall apart. You don't want it to be a mess, right?
And that's a tricky combination, isn't it?
It is.
It's surprisingly
Yes,
tricky.
yes. And it gets more complicated than that.
I'm sure.
So we worked on finding that perfect recipe. And then we came out of lockdown, started going back into the office, and I was tasked with getting I'm a software developer by trade. So I was tasked with getting some of our developers up to speed on some of the latest skills. And if you know anything about software developers, you lock them down for a year and tell them to stay at home. Most of them will never leave the house ever again.
Right.
They will be perfectly happy to be locked in their apartment, having food delivered, and they'll never go anywhere. So
I think most of the world was like that, actually.
Yes.
But yeah, go for it.
So my job was to try to get some of these guys back into the office and do training sessions, get them up to speed on some of the latest tech. And I bought pizza, I brought beer.
And that didn't work?
But I was getting like 10 people. And it was a lot of work to come up with all these little sessions.
Right.
So I joked that I was going to start bringing cookies in. So I started baking these cookies, and it got us a few more people, but not a lot. And then I said jokingly, I'm going to start making these cookies with bourbon in them.
Ooh.
And bingo.
Yeah. So
now you had people coming in that didn't even work there.
There was like theme music.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Right?
these vagabonds just show
Sean
up.
was there.
So the homeless people started lining up outside the office and everything, right?
Yeah, pretty much. So understand at this point, I know virtually nothing about bourbon. I know what Woodford is. I know what Jack Daniels is, but that's the extent of my knowledge. So I make the cookies with about a half a shot of bourbon in them.
Mm-hmm.
And, to the previous point of how do you make that cookie work?
Right. That adds a whole different element.
That's getting the right cookie without booze in it is a challenge.
In itself.
Adding that much booze changes everything about the cookie.
So you're saying a half a shot of bourbon in a batch, which is how many cookies?
No.
And each
half a shot of bourbon in each cookie.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Do you do that prior to cooking it?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Wow. Are these ginormous cookies?
They are about 4 ounces.
Okay. Well, give me a diameter.
Well, how many ounces is an?
So that is like 3-inch diameter cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a dilation of a 9 for those ladies out there.
Yeah.
Wow. with a half a shot of bourbon each.
Yes.
Damn, I didn't realize that. Okay.
So
keep going.
anywhere between a quarter and half of the booze cooks out.
Okay.
Obviously having that gooey center makes them a little boozier.
Sure.
So that's the goal.
Right.
The dough is deadly.
It's deadly.
Just eat it raw.
Yeah, if you eat that raw, and of course we have to taste it.
Of course. Yes.
So,
you have to.
So we're
struggling.
We're tasting the dough. We're tasting the cookies.
And you're shit faced, right?
Yeah.
You wake up on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you do a whole batch,
You
do
gotta
you make it so we
I
just put a
love
whole
you,
bottle
honey.
in there, or
So we a batch is about a third of a bottle.
all right?
God.
Yeah.
You go through a lot of bourbon and making a lot of cookies there.
Yes. We go through a lot of booze.
That's interesting. So imagine you got to go back and you got to account for the liquid, the booze in there in your 3 major ingredients.
It's like a chemical.
Yeah, you're an alchemist.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're what is it? An elixirist.
Yeah, I mean
Elixirist.
it took a lot of experimentation to get it right.
You had to eat all of them, didn't you?
You had
Yeah, we had
Yes.
for
Like,
science.
this was just not
Now-
quite right.
Have
Yeah.
you ever got a buzz eating these cookies?
Oh yeah, you get a buzz eating the cookies. I get a buzz just making the dough.
So just
like the fumes coming off of it.
Yes.
wow.
So when
we
you
gotta do
were starting to try to create these did you ever have one and you're just like, well, that was terrible, like just horrendously type things, where it's like, all right, we need to go the opposite way of this?
I don't know
that from Williamsburg.
I don't know that we
Really?
ever had anything that was horrible. There's some that my wife just doesn't like.
Gotcha.
She
I
just
mean, you can't really go wrong with a bourbon, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not
Well,
going to be.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking like the ratios weren't right, and
Oh,
you're just
well,
like, yeah, this is.
So
this-
we-
this is
we
not
did-
good.
we did try like a pina colada cookie,
Interesting.
and we tried an Irish cream cookie,
Mm.
and the flavor was fantastic.
I bet, but it fell apart,
But no, it's like eating a cupcake.
right?
Oh,
You don't
man.
like, and you don't like cake.
Well, yeah, I don't want that in a cookie.
How about
Sure.
how about a whiskey sour, like a push-up cream vanilla orange pop?
So the biggest problem
My nipples got hard.
Man,
With-
I saw that.
with doing the cookies is the more liquid you add to a cookie, the more cakey it becomes.
But you could make
Mm.
little cakes. I mean, dude, there are
Yes.
people who make
Yes.
custom. What do you call them? The little
Little
donuts.
rum cakes.
No, the
Yeah.
little cupcakes.
Yeah,
they make
cupcakes.
cupcakes.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
but that's
and they
not-
and they charge a fortune for that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not the spirit of.
I
Well,
got
and-
you. I got you. But still,
and that's on the list, right? That's something that we want to get to.
okay.
We just have to make sure that we've, covered a market and make sure that we have it,
Right.
have
All
it
right,
good
so
before
you-
we go to the next
So
thing.
you have been trying all these different recipes, trying to get the perfect texture, trying to get the ingredients perfectly right. But you're also bringing in different. You're trying different bourbons.
Yes.
Well,
And so
first
you-
off, I want him to tell us the name of his company.
Oh, I thought
He hasn't
he did.
said it
I'm
yet.
so sorry. I thought he did.
Yeah, Sean didn't either.
I didn't want to introduce you. It's the Boozy Baking Company,
Right.
and so you got the kind of a kicker of how it started, and where are you guys located as far as office goes, headquarters?
So our headquarters is in our house. We live in McKinney.
Okay.
We just moved into a new kitchen called Revolving Kitchen
Mhm.
Okay.
in Fairview. So they're like a food hall.
Right,
You can
right.
rent. You can rent an entire kitchen. You can rent it by the hour.
Oh, okay. I get it.
They will have a marketplace where you'll be able to buy the cookies. Just walk in and buy them off the shelf.
So that's a nice transitional way to like have a commercial kitchen.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, you probably want to open your own storefront if
Yeah,
things
that-
go well, right?
yes.
If things take off.
Yes.
Right?
If things go well, that's what we'll do.
Excellent. So this is a perfect transitional revolving kitchen thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this started off in 2019,
No, 23.
2023. Or when did
I
COVID
mean,
happen?
We started
2020.
baking the cookies before then.
Okay,
Right.
But once we came, so
once that aha moment.
Yeah.
you
so
Right.
once we
took the business
started,
plan.
once I started bringing notes into the office and I realized they were good, then I'm like, well, let's go see a distillery and let's see how the sausage.
So
is
were
made.
they were the employees that were working on this code? Were they able to finish tasks in a timely fashion with under the influence of these cookies?
Yeah, the productivity plummet
Well,
at
I
the
mean,
office.
To me, I have a little bit of booze and I get better,
There you go.
Or-
There you go.
or at least I think I
Yeah,
do.
well,
Is that part of
hey,
your tagline? Eat our cookies and be more productive?
Maybe,
Well, I mean,
maybe it
look,
should be.
you've got these baseball players. You got Babe Ruth was shit faced all the time, striking people out. with
And
no
he was a
hitters.
home run king.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
pitcher. No,
You never
hitter.
know.
It makes you perform better.
I can try that.
Makes you.
So
All
we,
right. So you're forming partnerships. You're reaching
Yeah.
out to different distilleries.
So we went up to 1845 because it was down the street,
Mhm.
right? So
June and Bob Pettit.
yeah,
Yes.
Love them.
yeah.
Shout out to 1845 Distillery in Lowry Crossing, Texas.
So
Yeah.
we walked in, had no idea what we were doing, had no idea how to properly taste bourbon. So Ben kind of showed us the ropes, and we told him what we were doing. And we're like, we're going to make cookies out of this stuff. And I mean, June, she was excited about that and was excited about that.
Sure.
So I said, well, I'll bring you some next week. So went home, made a batch of cookies, brought them out the following Saturday, and they went nuts.
I remember you the first time I met you. You had the front of the store. You had all your samples out
yeah.
there, and everybody who was coming into 1845 to like do their own samples of the bourbon and stuff. There you were on the side there. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
that was a big boost for us.
a great intro. Yeah.
So we did that for a couple of months, and meanwhile, June saying, "You need to sell these."
Sure.
And I'm like, I don't want to do a commercial kitchen and all the stuff that's involved in it.
It's a lot.
And, I have a little bit of experience when I was young in the food business, like most people do. And I just didn't know if I wanted to do that in addition to my day job.
Mhm.
Sure. It's a lot of capital, for one thing.
And eventually she wore me down. My wife and I talked about it. Meanwhile, we were bringing the cookies to some of the catering jobs, and they went over really, really well. So we finally decided, okay, let's just...
And these catering are just for like business events, weddings,
Most of them are
bar mitzvahs,
house party type things.
house parties.
So-
Okay.
Gotcha.
A little upper end type things. Most of the
like
people...
P. Diddy parties. Yeah.
Not quite that bad.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, not like that.
No.
A freak out party.
Yeah. Freak out? No. No.
We're the king of freak out cookie parties.
No. Just
All right, maybe not. All right, keep going.
So in October, we did all the paperwork, got everything going, and then launched the website first week of January.
And that's where you do primarily your sales
Yeah.
on the website.
Yeah. We're doing them there. We did 2 events in Salina. They have a Friday night market every Friday, or I'm sorry, not every Friday. The first Friday of the month.
Okay.
So we've done 2 of those. The first one, it was about 108 degrees outside.
Nice.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect
Um,
for cookies. Yeah.
And, in the sun, it was like 115.
Oh.
That was August. In September, we did another one there. It was cooler, but still
It
unbelievably
was
hot.
100 degrees.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Isn't it sad when we
above
say
a
it-
certain temperature, it just is fucking hot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just hot. 105, 102. No, it's just fucking hot. I can't feel.
Yeah, the second one, we actually brought a cooler and put the cookies on ice.
There you go.
So, my thing is we're going to make a lot of mistakes. I want to make them early and I want to make them local.
Sure.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
you
You're
know,
learning.
yeah,
Everything's about learning
You're-
right here.
no plan survives contact with the enemy. So I knew I was going to make mistakes. We're learning from them, right?
Right.
Sure.
You
sure.
screw up, you figure out what you did wrong. You
So
adjust.
you were saying you had 2 events. What were these events again?
In
Plano. What?
Salina.
These were in Salina.
Oh, okay. And these were
It's they
Out-
just
these are festivals or something.
it's like a little farmer's market.
Gotcha.
thing.
Gotcha. Okay. So
It's-
you've been you were doing booths at different
Yeah.
local events. Okay.
Yeah, so we did those. Then we did the Oktoberfest in Frisco.
That was a good one. I was there. We were just talking about
Yeah,
this
yeah.
before the podcast. I was like, "You were there?"
Yeah.
It wasn't a large, festival, but somehow I missed your booth. Unfortunately,
Yeah, it was.
because I would have been like, "What's up?" But anyway, so yeah,
We
that's awesome.
sold-
You got other products on them? Did I see bourbon mayonnaise? What was that?
So we did do. So we've been doing some recipes on the blog. I haven't done it in a while, but I did do some burgers with bourbon mayonnaise.
We're looking at the boozybakingcompany.com.
Oh, so you're just
website.
sharing different types of
Yeah.
bourbon recipes to
Yeah.
get people to
Yeah.
engage in the
Yeah.
website, which
I
is a
mean-
great idea.
At the end of the day, I like cooking.
Sure.
Oh, you go into depth right down.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So
There you go.
That hamburger looks ferociously well.
So I just like cooking. So we cook. We've always cooked with booze.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always kind of been, whatever it is.
Who is that cook, the chef, the female one that gets shit-faced on wine when she cooks?
Is that Rachel Ray?
No, the one that used the a very negative word.
Paula Dean.
Paula
yeah.
did. No,
Yeah.
she ate sticks of butter.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, she ate sticks
There
of
was
butter.
one but she's an older one. Oh, we're gonna try some wine and here's some.
Oh,
food,
that's,
something to eat."
That's Julia Child.
Yeah, Julia
Oh, there
Child.
you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Dan
She was
Aykroyd.
funny.
Sounds like
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd
That's-
plays.
Oh, I
Saturday Night
love
Live.
that.
sounds like the Muppet scientist there. I don't know what you were.
Bark, bark, bark.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
what it
know.
sounded like.
Sorry about that.
So this was at Salina, this one up here?
Yeah. Is
Okay.
that your wife?
That is my wife.
Nice? Well, that's a nice setup you got there. That's a nice looking booth.
That is Oktoberfest.
Oh.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. That is Salina.
Yeah, but September 8th, 2024. It's
Yeah.
say on there.
And so, how
Yeah.
were people responding? How'd it go?
People went nuts.
Right?
Yeah. The tough thing about Salina, it's very family oriented.
Yes.
So there were lots of people like, no, I don't want any alcohol.
Right. They're like,
Um,
no, these are great for 5-year-olds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great for
And-
kids.
Yeah.
We did bring some non-alcoholic cookies for the kids.
Oh, good idea.
But we did that once.
So
And you give those out for free.
No.
Well, that's what you should do. Make smaller ones, booze-free smaller ones for the kids, right? Let them have those for
that's
free.
a good idea.
Yes, blue small ones. And then the parents come in, and then the parents will buy the boozy ones.
So you
Guilt
say
into
that
it.
there's still some alcohol left in there. Do you have to be considerate of who is buying these?
You check IDs.
So we do make sure that people are over 21.
So do you have to have a TABC sort of license?
According to TABC, as long as you bake the alcohol, it's considered food, not alcohol.
Interesting.
So I could just put it in the pot and like warm it.
Yes, you can.
I cooked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I baked a pound of
This is
ice
food.
and 15 bottles of bourbon.
Get on the
It's
TABC
food.
website. It says I can do this.
All right. So, well, this is great. I can't wait to sample these guys. We're gonna do some samples in the first half. We're gonna do some samples on the second half. And so far you've been kicking this down the road. This picture's from September 2024. So we're turning a corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were at the 1845 distillery. Are you hitting some of the other ones? Are you going far? Like
Yeah. How many
Rebecca
distilleries?
Creek?
So
Lost
we have a total of 6 distilleries.
Nice.
We did there was an event in Plano in April.
We were there.
Yeah.
Oh
So-
boy.
We went down there and talked to all the distilleries
Yeah.
and anybody who was interested.
What time were you there?
Like it was early.
Yeah, we were there early.
Yeah.
We were
We don't remember
we were
much.
drunk by noon.
So this was our
Yeah,
first.
so was I.
So this was our first whiskey fest. Bless you. This was our first whiskey festival, and we
We didn't
never
know how to do it.
we were newbies.
we didn't really understand. We had no idea what we were up against. So we know we were going to go there and have some drinks, but when we got, they got lined up like 14 different
After the
vendors out
first
there.
one, we were like, "This is not going to go well."
No. So we get the first booth and they line up 4 shots. Of course, the smaller ones, little point. They're supposed to be 0.5 ounce.
But they were all like 110 proof.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they lined up at 4, So
Yeah.
even if you have 4 at half an ounce, which they weren't, we drank all 4. Bam. By the time we got to the third booth, we're shit faced.
And by
Yeah.
the way, there's 20 booths.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, you have to imagine, like the New York Marathon, right? You know how those people are at the front of the line, and
Yep.
then they say go. That was us.
Yeah.
We
That was-
raced to the first.
and then we stumbled across the finish line.
Oh, we
Yeah.
really
We fell.
Well,
We
actually,
face
we
planted.
were asked to leave.
So we didn't see you because we never
It's time
got
for you to
to-
leave.
You have an hour and 15 minutes. I think that's what it was.
we didn't
something
even
like
get
that.
through them all. We didn't even get to 1845.
We
Yeah.
didn't.
So
We didn't.
1845, when you go do the loop, when you walk in there, 1845 was the last one on there.
Yeah.
And we just kind of like, well, hey Ben, how you doing? And then we're just like, and then but we're drunk.
He's probably thankful that we didn't stop.
Right, and then I heard people hollering,
Paul, you gotta leave, man. They're out there telling us to
Lord.
get out.
So we're intoxicated.
"It
and
did not go well."
We end up going to actually at that point we were just good.
we went for
buzz.
food.
We
Then
went to a
we
food
went,
truck.
We went
Yeah.
across the street. There's a little bar there, and we had a couple drinks there, a couple beers is what we did, and then I walk up to the bar.
No, you bought a bunch of bourbon.
Well, I was getting there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we had beer. We got a
Right.
couple beers just to
Right.
relax and just have fun. And then I go up to the bar and they've got a bottle of Full Proof.
No, it was 107.
Yeah, Antique 107 from Weller's. And I was like, how much for a shot? She was like, $7. And I was like,
I'll take the bottle.
we'll have all of them.
Oh,
No.
boy.
Anyway, so you were out there and we missed you. I mean, we were there. We were really close.
I mean, so we were just visiting. We didn't have a booth or anything.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So this was, by this point, we had talked to 1845. They
I
were
wish
on
we could pull up
board.
some pictures because these guys had bandanas on their head and everything. It
No,
was just
it
I
was-
don't
it
think
was-
that's true.
So we had
You can't prove it. There's no way you can
1845
prove it.
as
Don't prove
as
it. Don't prove it.
selling their cookies. We had talked to Iron Root, and we were kind of finalizing the deal with them. But our goal was to taste the different bourbons and get more on board.
Sure.
So while we were there, we picked up Milam and Green, picked up
Oh.
Balcones, picked up a little distillery in Pflugerville called Spirit of Texas.
Okay.
And Garrison Brothers,
Nice.
Pflugerville. Where's that at?
just north of Austin.
All right, because I was going to say I was just going to Texas or to Austin. I remember seeing Pflugerville, and I couldn't place it.
Yeah, so
And that's a distillery?
it's a distillery.
It's PF Pfluger.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's a small little distillery. They make whiskey. They make rum.
So the pecan rum that you
Yeah,
use, right?
the pecan rum's from them.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good.
And then they're also brewing beer now.
Very cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it something you can visit and tour, or is it just they got a little room there you can go and buy some of their stuff?
I know you. I don't know if they're. I think they stopped doing tours. I don't remember. They may be doing them again.
Gotcha.
So let's say I live in Austin. Let's say I do. I don't, but let's say I do. I want some cookies. So I go to your website. I put an order in. Do you mail me those cookies?
I can't yet. So I have
You can deliver them though.
I can deliver them.
Okay, so let's say you deliver them. I received them, and I'm like, I don't want to eat these right away. How long are those cookies going to last?
They will last on your counter for about 2 weeks.
Okay.
You can freeze them, and they freeze well for several months.
Nice.
So
That's
3-4
standard.
months.
Yeah, that's
Now the
that's good to hear.
DoorDash to Austin is $180, I think.
No kidding.
Right.
No kidding.
So your price list on your for the cookies, is that for a dozen?
That's for a dozen.
Okay. And those those I mean they are pricey. They're not normal cookies.
No, they are not cheap.
But they're the ballpark frank of cookies though.
Well,
I
and
agree. Well, we haven't tasted. I'm anxious
I
to
can't
taste
wait.
some of these.
So he's got 3 bags of sample
I know.
cookies sitting on the table, and I'm like getting a little frustrated over here. But we'll get there. We'll get there. But I have a question for you.
Okay.
Start to finish, ingredients to a baked cookie. How long does that take?
So that's kind of a deceptive question because takes me about 20 minutes to make the dough.
Okay.
I can do it faster, depends on how many I'm doing. But then they have to sit overnight because I want to make sure that dough gets fully hydrated because there's a lot of liquid in it, right? So I've got to get all of that into the flour to make sure that the flour's properly.
And it's overnight, not at room temperature.
No,
in the fridge.
no.
In the fridge.
Even my
overnight.
wife does that. When she makes cookies, she sticks them in the fridge.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, she does it overnight. She does it for a couple hours. Doesn't have as much liquid in it that
Yeah.
you probably do, but
But it's all mixed together in
Yeah.
a mush, right?
Yeah.
In a dough,
Yeah.
and then you put it in the refrigerator overnight.
Yep.
And then in the morning,
And then we bake them, and it's 20 to 30 minutes to bake. It depends on the cookie.
and you've already made them into little balls
Yeah.
before you put them in, right?
Yeah.
In the fridge. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then you pull them out and right into the oven.
do you have any problem with the caramelizing the sugars? I know there's sugar in the cookie as well, but the bourbon as well.
Sugar,
And-
yeah.
Any caramelization that happens when you're
I mean, there's going to be some,
Right.
but it's really all you see is, some of the cookies brown a little more than others.
right,
It all depends on the amount of alcohol.
right. So I saw your list of cookies up there,
Interesting.
and there's a bourbon that I'm not a big fan of. It's not necessarily the bourbon, but the style of bourbon, the brimstone.
Oh, yes. He
I see
doesn't
it's a
like the
dark,
smoky.
looks like a dark. I may be interested in these. The looks like dark chocolate to me.
Yeah.
And it looks like it has cherries in there now.
Yes.
Does it have that real strong smoky flavor to it?
So it does have a smoky flavor to it. It's kind of a combination of smoke and the cocoa from the
All right.
that's in
I
there.
could see that working really well together.
Me
actually.
too. Me
It's
too.
really good.
I can't drink the whiskey because we have some out there, but I saw that and I saw the dark chocolate. I didn't see the cherries. That's really interesting. But I'm very intrigued on those to see what that turns out.
Do you have
like.
that sample with
I
us?
do.
Oh, really?
I do.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's got that
So
one.
the idea behind that cookie is we wanted it to look like a briquette.
It does.
So you
That's
get
what drew my eye to it. I was like,
so
this is
you
really
get
dark.
you get the smoky flavor, but then it also looks like a briquette.
Right.
Right?
That's great.
Yeah.
So it's not only the taste and the texture, but it's the presentation.
Yeah.
I love it.
And
Now you're not a huge fan of the brimstone from a bourbon, but I
Right.
imagine the cookies got.
Well, that's what I said. I'm
That's what
very
he's saying.
interested in trying this because I could imagine that actually going really well together.
I love brimstone.
All right. Can we go with our first sample now?
Sure.
Let's do it. I'm ready for a sample.
You can unveil this. He's got the little white bag. He's
Yes.
opening up.
Yes. What are we starting with?
This is the Spirit of Texas Pecan Street Rum Raisin Oatmeal Cookie.
Oh, good Lord. That's a great start.
Do each of us get one of these, or are we breaking this apart?
I'm not breaking it apart. I'm not
Well, I didn't
sharing
know
my
if we were
cookie with
splitting
anybody.
or anything.
We are going to get a sugar high from hell with all these samples. This is great.
The Spirit of Texas Pecan Street Rum Raisin Oatmeal Cookie.
Yeah. So if you like oatmeal raisin cookies,
You can just feel how gooey that is.
I can tell you.
Oh man, it smells like.
All right, Mr. Producer, bring up this cookie on the website. It's the oatmeal raisin Spirit of, what was it?
Spirit of Texas.
Spirit
Spirit of Texas.
It's that one right there. Yeah, there you go.
I was going to say St. Louis, but that's just an automatic response. All
That
right.
smells absolutely delicious.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So if you like oatmeal raisin cookies,
I love them.
this will be one of the best things you've ever eaten in your life.
Now, are those big pieces of oatmeal that I see in there, the white?
Yes.
Ooh.
So we got 3 different kinds of raisins. We got the black raisins, we got golden raisins, and then we have Sante currant.
My. All right. So
These are excellent Christmas gifts.
They really,
Yeah.
People
no
need to
kidding.
start getting ready for. So I didn't really finish where I was going. I ordered the cookies. How long does it take to get to my front door?
2 days. So we asked for a 2-day lead time just because we've got to do that overnight.
Is there an opportunity to come pick them up?
Yeah, you can pick them up at a revolving kitchen.
So these are sample size. These are not your normal size.
Correct.
So they would be
The
like
normal size are 4 ounces.
probably
How much are
8.
these?
these
Those are a third of a cookie.
Wow.
So then they would be like
3 times that size.
there would be an eighth of a shot.
Yeah, ish.
I'm drunk.
Yeah, I mean I'm shit faced too.
So
I'm sorry, Austin.
and-
I'm your father, and I ate the whole goddamn cookie.
I thought about your son.
You gave him a part of your cookie.
I
What a-
did.
Dude, what a stud.
I'm sorry, man. I ate it, and then I looked up at Austin, and then I saw you. As soon as I did that, you gave him the Mr. Producer the cookie.
If it makes you feel better, I ate mine faster than you ate yours.
So we brought some. Dan Garrison was doing an event over in Louisville about 6 months ago.
Right.
And
From Garrison Brothers?
Yeah. So we brought him a couple of cookies, and he ate that thing in maybe 20 seconds.
I got the whole
The whole
Right.
full big cookie.
And you're like, what'd you think? He's like, I don't remember. It's like,
He signed a bottle, described and said the best chocolate chip cookie I've ever eaten.
no way.
Yeah.
You need to make a cookie with the cowboy.
Well,
The cowboy.
does the,
has
does,
that?
does the proof impact
It does.
the cookie?
It absolutely
Really?
does.
How?
Yeah. So we use one of the bourbons we use is Harbinger, which is 115 proof.
Right.
And that makes a great cookie because of the high alcohol. It completely changes it versus the others.
Well, the Cowboy is 140 proof.
Yeah.
I wonder what that would do. That's an expensive bourbon, though. Those would be very
Yeah.
expensive cookies.
And that's kind of the problem.
right.
That's amazing. The same
but-
amount of liquid,
but,
but
I mean-
a different proof. You're saying completely changes
Yeah.
the consistency.
A
of the
big part
cookie.
a big part of the reason is because the more water you add, the more cakey the cookie is. So the higher the proof means you have more alcohol than you do water.
Less water.
Right.
So
Right.
is there a time? I mean, okay. So if you bake the God damn it, if you cook the water out of it, still you maintain the proof, but you.
Oh, you're saying take the bourbon and do
just-
something to the bourbon before
just
you put it in the
kinda-
cookie?
Yeah, just kind of dumb. What do you call it when you try to burn the water out of something? You call it something when regular cooking.
Reduce.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
reduce the bourbon.
The problem is when you reduce it, you're reducing the alcohol first.
Right.
so
'cause
what
it
is
has a
the
lower
ratio
boiling
of
point.
angels versus devils cut?
Well,
By the
like
way, the producer is certifying that these things are great.
like Bananas Foster. That's got they I don't know what they use, a bourbon or a whiskey in that, don't they? And they burn off the alcohol and they leave all the flavor of it.
Yeah, and so that's the other thing about alcohol. Even if the alcohol cooks off,
Yeah.
alcohol being in food enhances the flavor because there are certain flavor compounds in food that are alcohol soluble. So just having the alcohol in there will give you different flavors.
So I should start adding bourbon to
Everything.
spaghetti.
No, everything.
Spam.
My morning oatmeal.
Yeah.
Spam.
yeah.
Spam.
Well, my wife eats those oatmeal
butter
raisin
and jelly.
cookies for breakfast.
We'll keep her regular. No, that's good. There's a lot of oat in there. Now, is it like steel cut or what kind of
No, it's steel cut.
steel cut
Yeah.
oats?
Yeah.
Very nice. That's the good stuff.
We don't skimp on any of the
Yeah.
ingredients.
Very nice.
It's, the best chocolate chips we can get, the best flour we can get, the best oatmeal we can get. The butter is a European style butter.
Better
So,
ingredients, better
yeah.
cookies.
Yeah.
Papa Michael's.
Yeah. Pretty much. So we want the cookies to be good. We want good cookies. And then the alcohol just makes it even better.
Nice. Are we doing
Well,
another? Are we doing another sample, or am I being a glutton?
Well, I mean, we're just going to take this, as fast as it is. So the first one was excellent. So
it was
I mean,
excellent.
yeah, I mean, these.
Okay, so what was the nose?
I smelled
know.
oatmeal and pecans.
yeah, hey, look, this one
I smelled
is.
raisins.
I tell you, for the folks out there looking for the perfect gift for your business partner, business mate, your,
Oh,
your
yeah.
business spouse, this is it. You got a work person that or a friend. You're looking to give them a gift. You go to the boozybakingcompany.com and you got to order these. And it takes Christmas time. You got to get ramped up. What about last year at this time? Were you busy?
We weren't around last year.
Oh,
so
this
this
is
is-
your first
No,
holiday.
yeah.
Do these come in like a sleeve or a box or a
They
tin?
are individually packaged.
Just like we see them now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they
I
come
mean,
in a bag like this?
They come in a bag like that. They do have like a little header card with,
Right.
information, and there's stuff on the back.
So are you going to be ultimately transfer those? Because I feel like a bag being transferred is going to cause it to, potentially get slammed in a door, dropped.
What are you thinking? Well, you want like a cast iron box?
I'm like a Dunkin' Donut box. I'm thinking, I don't know.
So
I'm
we-
just thinking,
We will get to that point. When it says, especially when we ship, right? They've got
Yeah.
to be packaged better than this.
And there's all future stuff, like gift
Yeah.
bags
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
And
too,
this
right, for
is-
Christmas.
This is one of the logistic things that we have to work out.
sure.
Because it's
Those are exciting problems to have.
Yes. Hopefully.
Yes. Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Hopefully.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be buying cookies from you
Good.
for gifts. I think it's an excellent idea.
It is, especially like you said, for work people.
Excellent gift for your
Yeah,
boss.
not at
Yeah.
work, but
Not at
Work.
work, but
Whatever,
people.
man.
Well, the nice thing is
comrades.
you're just giving somebody cooking. You're just eating a cookie.
right.
Nobody knows.
They're going to take that first bite and
Oh,
go,
I love it.
I know.
I love
so
it.
you can give it to a girlfriend, perhaps, and
Sure.
then just kind of, what do they call
Yeah.
that, a roofie? Say, hey,
Yeah.
you want to eat this dozen of cookies?
That's your tagline.
That's
You can,
6
dozen.
ounces of alcohol.
you can booze it up at work. Hey. That's your tagline.
Some of our social media stuff alludes to that.
There you go.
This is
No one would know.
It's an incredible idea. It's a credible concept. I hope this thing just flourishes and takes off.
Me too.
We're going to do what we can. Which isn't much. We have 4 listeners. You know that, right?
Well, we have 3 now.
It's more than I
We
have.
pissed off
So
that one guy.
We got Vinny.
We do. We have
Is
a
it
new,
Vinny or-
Well, we have a new listener. I'll talk about that later, though, because I want to ask a question. So, there are people that have these little shops, little activities where you can go and paint with like on a date, right? Or you take your kid
Yeah.
and you can paint something, or you can do this, or you can do sometimes, and they make their own little
Coffee mug.
Yeah,
or-
they make stuff, or they bake stuff, or something.
Ceramics.
I was trying to think if you could. It's tough that you do it overnight though, because if somebody could come in and it's like a workshop, right? They
don't
can
know.
do their own
I
booze.
think there's a lot of intellectual property involved.
yeah,
in
the
this.
problem is I don't want to give away the secret.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's
I'm just
I mean-
saying that would be a great reason for people to drink, make cookies, put the booze in the cookies.
Well, they can make their own.
They can make their own cookies.
Yeah,
So
but it
here's
will be
your
a
recipe.
completely different recipe.
yeah.
You make yours and
That's-
then buy
and
ours.
then, and then pour the booze in the cookie. Yeah,
we
I
do
don't
have
know.
some secret ingredients that we put in there.
That's a good point.
And I don't want to give any of those away.
No, I totally get it. I totally get it.
Is it approved by the health department?
It is.
Nice.
And what is the holdup on the shipping issues with the?
So we have to have a manufacturing license, and in order to do that, you have to have a commercial kitchen. So that's
the
First
revolving.
step
revolving
you just got,
kitchen.
right?
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
And then you have to fill out the paperwork, and it's based on the revenue of the location, not your revenue.
So everybody
Whoa.
that uses revolving kitchen
Yeah.
is playing a game of this.
Yeah. So
That's bullshit.
yeah, but and the website looks like it's out of the 90s. Probably shouldn't say that too loud.
You know,
case-
but
Actually, I thought the photographs were very, very
yeah,
well
it looked
done.
No,
kinda
I'm
nice.
not. No, I'm talking about the website for the
Oh,
state where you fill it
Revolver.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
So-
is what you're
Yeah, so
you're
you have to
at the mercy
you have to
of.
fill this thing out, and it's not straightforward. They're
you know,
like,
it almost seems like it'd be a timeshare kind of thing. Like, what is the my timeshare is this much.
You have maintenance fees.
Yeah.
Yeah, those timeshares. I know my in-laws had a timeshare in Hawaii.
You know what I'm talking about, Michael?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That may. I mean, I don't know. I'm one of these guys. I always look for loopholes. I look for getting away with anything.
Yes.
It doesn't even matter if I want to do it. I just want to know, can I do it?
Yeah, but
He
you brought
does
up timeshares, and I don't think that works very well.
No, timeshares people
no,
want to
I'm
get
not
out
talking
of.
about timeshares necessarily for an actual timeshare, but I'm like use that as kind of a concept or methodology of getting away with the manufacturing place at the revolving kitchen.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, well, I'm at the revolving kitchen, they produce X amount of money a year, just say, I'm at the revolving kitchen, our portion of their revenue is X amount per year.
Yeah.
I don't think they're asking that though.
Well,
Yeah, they
it's the power of
specifically say the revenue at the facility.
yeah, well, my revenue at the facility equals this.
Well, so the question is, revolving kitchen has restaurants,
Oh yeah,
and then they have places that
there's
are
a lot of money that goes through there. So
they have places that are manufacturing food. Do I include the restaurants in that revenue, or is it just the manufacturers?
Do you have any?
I wouldn't.
Do you have any lawyer friend or anything like that could help you answer that?
No.
I would. Well, you know what? We
That-
have a few that we
That
we can
will
ask.
be. That's probably the next step, just to make sure I'm doing it right, because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that does seem kind of bullshitty.
Yeah, I'm thinking I would ask for forgiveness then permission. What are they going to do?
They'll listen
government?
to the podcast, and then
Yeah.
they'll.
No,
Take everything.
no.
And
I mean, no. They
I was
wouldn't.
thinking take everything,
Yeah,
but
I mean, if it ever
or some
gets to
sort of-
court, you're
some
going to be
fine
like,
or
what?
something.
What are you going to do? I mean, it's
and then you have to say, hey, try the cookies, and
because
they'll be
this
like, "All right, you're
revolving
good."
kitchen is actually a pretty good idea.
Then they'll
I
listen
mean,
to this podcast and be like, yeah, those guys were wrong. You had it right the first time.
But I mean, like the revolving kitchen. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there are some dying companies out there. Like, let's say, for example, Fuddruckers. Fuddruckers has used a revolving kitchen style
They do here.
format, and they basically take. It's a conglomerate that a bunch of these restaurants jump in, and if you want food delivered or for pickup, they make it right there, and they use all the recipes from that local venue.
There used to be one down there. You remember where that Posados used to be?
Is it called the revolving kitchen?
No, it's closed.
But I mean, is that the same thing as you're referring to,
So revolving kitchen, it's similar,
producer?
but they are.
No, I'm just like maybe pull up revolving kitchen.
So they have 34 kitchens, I think, and places are renting out an entire kitchen, and then you can go in, you can order on the kiosk in the dining room, and they'll deliver the food out to you with a robot.
Where's this
Um,
located?
It's in
Fairview. You
It's in
said.
Fairview, on the northeast corner.
So click on the Fairview one.
Yeah.
I want to see who's all in there.
Because you mentioned Fuddruckers. I thought, are you saying Fuddruckers no longer does the revolving kitchen that was in Frisco or McKinney?
No, that facility closed down.
They did? I didn't know that.
No, the one that's in Posados closed down.
Damn it. I waited too long.
Brooklyn Bagels.
Because I love Fuddruckers. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, it was fun. Growing up the kids and.
Oh yeah, they had the Fixin' Bar.
Yeah, it was great. By the way,
they had good burgers.
by the
though.
way, they
They
still
did.
have it in Albuquerque. Every time I go to Albuquerque now, it's a must. I go to
So,
Fuddruckers.
so I think you're fairly new.
You don't
to
go
the,
to the what's the place downtown by the across from the university in Albuquerque?
Oh, geez. I don't know. Is it a pizza place?
No, it's a burger place.
Is it like something cow, sacred cow, or flying cow? Or,
No. Oh shoot, my wife would kill me because we were talking just the other day about flying to Albuquerque just to get
just to get that
a burger and
spotted
and-
cow? I don't
and
know.
a cinnamon roll.
We'll come back to it.
The Holy Cow Burger,
That's
Stackers Burgers.
Holy cow is what I was thinking of, by the way. Anyway, we'll come back to that. All right, so sorry, I got us
Grass
off track.
Burger.
I got us off track. So you were talking about we were talking about revolving kitchen. Okay. And what else?
So there are, I don't know, 20-ish restaurants
that were all being served, and you said there's
there.
a kiosk, and they bring it out with a robot.
There's a kiosk, so you can go in and order from, multiple restaurants at your table.
And is there one near here now?
Yeah, it's northeast corner of Stacy Road and 75.
Okay, is that the one you use?
Yeah, it's behind
Okay.
the Macy's.
So when do you use it?
We used it for Frisco. We used it for
No, I mean time of day. Like
evenings,
you rent it for how many hours?
like 3-4 hours.
And how many other people? How big is this place to where other people are using it at the same time
They have 34 different kitchens.
in the same place?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay.
So you're just renting one little spot. Is the rest of it just hustling and bustling?
Yeah.
or-
Yeah.
And are you responsible for cleaning it?
That's crazy. I mean, what a great concept, though.
It's cool. I mean, there are a number of like hourly kitchens in the area.
Huh.
This one is really convenient to where we are. It's a little expensive.
Sure. Just local.
So
Local
what is the commitment? If you were to do away with that, I mean, you got a goal. You're going to sell these cookies.
Right.
Then there's a business plan that says when I sell enough of these cookies, I'm going to get to this point where I'm going to want to go ahead and open up a storefront.
Right.
How if on the course that we're right now, we're looking at 2 years, 4 years. Of course, you don't know, but when do you?
What's your goal?
Probably more than 2 years. Hopefully less than 4.
And it's all based on how many cookies. you sell.
Yeah. Just
well, tis the
what's the
season.
uptake.
Tis the season right now. I mean, not during this podcast, but I mean, well, hopefully during this podcast. But I mean, this Christmas time right now.
Yeah.
Do some promoting. We'll do some reciprocal promoting on our behalf. But I'm telling you, this is an excellent gift. There is
You said that they last for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Okay.
On the
And
counter.
longer.
Keep in mind of that.
Yeah,
you
or
can freeze
put
them.
them in the
freezer.
freezer. They freeze really well.
So
June and Ann, I think, from 1845 I think they had cookies in their freezer for 3 or 4 months.
yeah,
And-
well, they won't last that long in my house, but
Yeah, he just inhaled his in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
well, Paul did his too. But
They don't last that long in my
You
house.
didn't even
either.
offer some to the.
But
I shared mine.
I was going to bring up, like, there's a business in downtown McKinney called Mama Pop's Popcorn Place.
Yeah.
So Mama Pop's Popcorn is a unique. They've got all kinds of different flavored popcorns, and if you're a fan of that, but they sell during Christmas time. They run those poppers in the back 24/7.
Yep.
24/7.
Are you kidding me?
24/7. They sold their business, but there's someone else running it, and from between Thanksgiving and Christmas,
Around the clock.
around the clock, nonstop.
Popcorn.
Dude, there are businesses, there are corporations that buy those bags.
Well, yeah,
for-
it's the caramel and the candy
Yeah,
corn.
yeah,
and,
well,
and
I
they
mean,
put them in the tins,
this
right?
fits. This is the same package, but it's an
Yeah.
upper tier product.
I
Yeah.
agree.
So it's like you've got. It's a class A. I mean, this one's good stuff. I mean, people with money will buy this. People, the Lexus car dealerships, the corporate golf outings. I mean, this is great. You have a great
Thank you.
product, man.
Thank you.
I mean, it's.
especially with a half a shot in
you haven't
every
even
cookie.
I mean, you haven't even got the chocolate chip cookies yet.
I mean, but the concept is
Yeah.
just it's mind boggling.
I actually see you partnering with another.
like a dudes like us. Oh, I'm sorry. What?
Well, maybe. Yeah, the lifetime supply of samples. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
in.
right.
No, but I see you partnering. Like you talked about the popcorn place. I see you partnering with somebody with like-minded product that.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Instead of,
Yeah.
and then that would be your stepping stone out of a revolving kitchen into a semi-establishment, right? That you're sharing with
Yeah.
one other person.
Yeah.
That I could see that.
But it also needs to be comparable. It needs to be part of the same league.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Echelon
saying.
of food.
Yeah, because I mean, there you can walk in and you could buy $4 bag of candy. This is not that product.
Yes.
There
Right.
are kids that are going into that specific store. I don't know where that's at. Where is that? Is that at what is the chocolate place they have at all the malls?
Godiva.
Yeah, like a Godiva. Would that be
Maybe.
a Target?
Yeah.
Well,
You
that's
know?
too big of a company. It'd have to be a
It
mom
is,
and pop.
but I'm
But
thinking,
that same idea.
yeah,
Same
right.
idea.
yeah. I mean, you could ride on the coattails of what is it called? Tiff's.
Tiff's Treats.
Tiff's Treats.
Tiff's Treats or something like that, and you can say, "Hey, we can send you some Boozy cookies." Maybe put your.
Hey.
And they're
I don't know if that works.
but you have to say you're from New Jersey on your
Yes.
website.
Sound like Bill Cosby.
Hey, and I'll get you a sandwich.
Turkey pot pie.
A grinder.
What?
I don't know. I mean, what are you thinking? I mean, where are some businesses that you're pushing this? I mean, you're going to the distillers,
Yeah.
but what else? I mean, what's local?
Oh, my wife would love to be in Specs.
Specs is
Oh,
great.
dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got a 2-week shelf life.
Yeah. That's
So that's the bargain. So
Well, some of these specs have food
I was going to say
and refrigeration, though.
they have pecan pies. They're selling at Spec.
I'm thinking wedding venues.
that's one thing that we want to push. So we do have a half-size cookie, and one thing that we've talked about is doing like that smaller cookie, and then do like a label on there that has the bride and groom's name.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's a good package, and if you get in with those, I mean, they have wedding venues all over the place.
Yeah.
And when people get married, I mean, it's ridiculous
It is.
on the shit that they spend money on. And I put it down. I used to be a disc jockey, and I used to do a bunch of weddings. And when you sit down and you have 100-person wedding, and I start negotiating my price and how much I'm going to charge, I start bringing up the fact that, all right, well, if you have a vegetable plate for one person in your wedding, that's what, $7, $6? I'm making that number up. I have no idea. And it's kind of like, all right, well, are you saying I'm as valuable? I'm less than that. I'm the valuable than that vegetable plate. Because I try to rationalize me being there. I'm just like, there's money there is my point. $6 for a vegetable plate. I mean, that's 2 cookies. I mean, how much is a cookie? Probably, let me see, 80, 12. Excuse me, like $7, $8.
So the 1845 is the most expensive. It's 8 1/4.
8 1/4.
Yeah.
All right. So that seems reasonable for a big 4-ounce cookie. I would expect that.
with a half a shot of bourbon.
Yeah. I mean, and you can label it like that. And man, I'm telling you, could go off the rails. I have nothing but positive thoughts for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
I'm fingers crossed.
Well,
All right, it's great.
all right. Well, let's launch into the next one.
Yeah, I was going to
Okay.
say.
Sorry.
I mean, we're stalling here.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop
Well,
talking.
we've got like 20 minutes.
Again. I'm
Producer,
gonna
can you
need your
verify?
eyes.
This is the 1845. Do we want to say this one for last?
Ooh, I don't know.
This is the
No,
1845.
we got it out. Let's just do
no,
it.
let's do it.
Preemption.
Let's just do it.
You're holding it. It's time.
Mr. Producer, can you come over here, please?
This is the Balcones Baby Blue.
Hang on.
And this is
Begrudgingly, you share your cookie.
begrudgingly.
I gave him the bigger half too.
Did I get that right?
1840. Yes.
Okay.
Begrudgingly.
I saw you just like,
Okay. So
Son of a bitch. It's
so
good
with,
though, isn't
with these especially,
These are chocolate chip.
open them up
it?
and smell them before you do
Oh.
anything.
It's like taking
Well,
your
he-
mouth, put in the. No, I smelled it. It's like taking a snifter, and the way you smell the bourbon is to
Yeah.
just take a big old whiff of it.
All right, my bag is broken. I'm getting frustrated here. Oh, I can't open it.
So it's a sobriety test.
Yeah, it is. It's childproofed.
no, you pull it apart.
I know. I'm trying. All right, good.
No. Austin's been working out.
He has been working out. It's very impressive. All right, here we go. I'm smelling it.
He's got some jacked up opposable thumbs.
Surprisingly, I don't smell as much bourbon as I was expecting. But I smell wonderful
it
chocolate
open.
chips.
So the other thing that you can do, and we tell people this when they buy them at one of the festivals, take them home, throw them in the microwave for about 5-10 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
get them a little warm,
Oh yeah.
and then you'll get even more of that flavor.
Oh yeah.
More of that
I can
aroma.
I
taste.
can see that.
I can taste the bourbon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, it's, and
Oh
I'm
my-
not kissing your ass because I don't care. It's the perfect fucking cookie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everything. Because you think about, you get the regular chocolate chip. You go Chip Ahoy, and they're kind of soft.
Those aren't real cookies.
Yeah, whatever. But you get it. Then you have to dip it in milk, and then it's soft. It gets where you want it to be. Then they have the Chips Ahoy that are soft
The
chewy
soft
ones.
serve type things.
Yeah,
Or whatever.
that
they
one
are.
I was kind of like, oh, that's good. Then you get the ones you bake yourself, and those are the real cookies, and they're soft. This one, it's thick.
Michael, that cookie's ridiculous.
Thank
It
you.
is. It's thick because the cookies we make it ourselves, those kind of flatten out a little bit. They're still soft. They're still tremendous. This one's thick and soft.
Yeah, it's got that gooey center.
It's
where you get some of
it's
the
the
dough
perfect texture.
Yeah.
It's not. A lot of times it's undercooked.
We're getting
This one's not.
we're getting back to erotic talk, so we need to kind of get off of that a little bit.
Sean is dude from the waist down now.
Yeah.
Just ignore him. Just
Yeah.
ignore him.
No, I've got my thong on.
Yeah, turn away. That's
we
what
just
we do.
ignore him when he does that.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway,
why I wear my Crocs. I guess.
What a great conversation. And we're going to talk more about this in the second half because we have more samples.
You have listened to the podcast before,
I
right?
have. Yeah.
So, yeah, you should be used to this.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, we're going to do more samples in the second half. And we'll talk more about the business, all right?
Cool.
And more your cookie stuff. So, I thought maybe what do we have left? We got about
10, 15 minutes
10,
left.
15 minutes. All right. So, we definitely need to talk about the bourbon. Let's talk about the bourbon.
Well, this is not a bourbon. Yeah, let's talk about the bourbon right now.
Yeah, let's do
before
that.
I finish mine. It's actually not a bourbon. It's a, what is it?
It's a whiskey.
It's a rye.
It's a straight rye whiskey. It's made by Pikesville. So this one, Stan from Total Wine in Plano, off of 121 and Preston. Stan, shout out to Stan, shout out to Kevin, shout out to Heather. God bless.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Heather's the one, the chick that was put in her 2 weeks notice. She's not going to be there. By the time she hears this podcast, it'll be over with anyways.
Is
Doesn't
that
matter.
the one that was talking to us, or you?
Well, she was talking to us collectively. She's the one that has like 7 kids, and God bless it, she is like some master workout fiend, and she's like a wine steward, a sommelier. She really is.
Right.
She really is. She's super smart. She got a job working for I don't know exactly. In fact, I shouldn't say right now, so I won't. That's it, sir. 110 proof straight rye whiskey, Pikesville. Stan pointed this one out. He was like, you know what, you need to grab that one because, you know, it shows up once in a while and then it disappears and it's not here for a while. It's 6 years.
Straight rye whiskey, first produced in Maryland in the 1890s. It's
This is
Pikesville
actually
rye.
This is actually a Heaven's Hill juice.
Interesting.
Is this a Heaven's Hill whiskey?
It was once part of the booming Maryland rye
Yeah.
industry. It was shuttered by Prohibition.
Yep, this is Heaven's
It
Hill.
reemerged from Prohibition, which is, by the way, not a lot of them reemerged from Prohibition, and became the last standing Maryland rye as the rest of the industry's production had ceased. So, yes, you're right. Heaven Hill Distillery keeps this historic Maryland mark alive.
In Kentucky.
Very nice.
It is nice. It's got a pale copper color. The aroma right out of it. It's a dusty cocoa with an oaky smoke, kind of a.
I picked up some vanillas. The longer it sat, the sweeter the nose got for me.
With taste for me, it's dry, spicy with
I smell raisins.
rye,
I tell you what,
cloves.
You know, we always talk about rye being spicy.
This is
There's
not.
nothing spicy about
This
this,
is
at
so
all.
smooth for me.
Yeah,
This-
the finish is vanilla for sure.
It
I don't
is,
usually go back for more, but this went down so easy tonight.
It was a sweet start. You get the sweetness
It,
immediately.
I'll tell you what, it's the perfect compliment with these damn cookies too.
It sure is.
So we do make an oatmeal raisin
Jesus.
cookie with rye from
What-
from Milam and Green.
Milam and Green.
okay.
I'm sorry, man, but I think that
Are you emotional right now?
I think, Sean, this is like a perfect night.
I don't know. I mean,
He's like,
I
this
don't.
is so perfect.
I
should have made more
don't smoke
cookies.
cigars. I don't, but sometimes I have been known to smoke cigars, and I'm thinking, man, I could have you could do a cigar, a rye, and a cookie in one night, in
And-
one sitting.
And just imagine the moon and the stars and a breeze.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, and it's what 100?
and just
It's
looking up at the
60s.
moon and just
61 degrees, and Sean's having his moment with these cookies and the cigar. And
reciting sonnets.
Always
to the
got on
moon.
it.
Oh.
Always got on it is his Crocs
yes, and some ashless chaps.
and some black socks.
Yes. Oh, that's a Sean
They're my
moment.
compression socks.
That is a
You know,
Sean-
you guys make fun of my compression socks.
Dude, it needs to go. It's not a good look.
All right. Some say Pikesville rye is easy to drink and full of flavor. Others say that spice becomes more noticeable the longer the whiskey sits in the glass, like Jeff just said, and that a splash of water can tone down some of the sharper edges.
There's no sharp edge on this.
Well,
What?
at first it can be.
We're
A lot of
losers.
ryes have a sharp edge.
Not me. I don't.
Pikesville
I
rye is a product of Heaven Hill Distillery and has aged for at least 6 years. It's made of charred virgin oak cask and ABV of 55%.
I didn't know this was
Gentlemen,
on the
let's
tip.
rate this.
All right, so Michael, you're not. Okay, this is the irony of this whole conversation.
Michael's shit-faced right
You,
now, right now.
you-
I am.
but here's the thing: you make these cookies, you put all of these spirits in these cookies, but you're not a big drinker,
I'm not.
and so this is kind of an odd experience for you to be drinking.
I mean, we drink when we taste things. I'm good.
right? Okay, so it's but you don't. Okay, you taste when you make cookies, but you don't. You and your wife don't sit down and pour a glass
No.
of
I mean,
of something.
we do a fair number of distillery tours,
Okay,
just because
but you want to try them for
yeah.
your cookies,
right. So we drink there. I mean,
Sure.
you have to.
but this is not a regular thing for you.
We went to San Diego. We did a couple distillery tours.
Right.
Austin, Houston,
Nice.
Kansas City. So yeah, I mean we do it, but we don't like at the end of the day go, man, give me a. Whatever,
All right. So how are you feeling about this Pikesville straight rye
I
whiskey?
really like it. It's,
Okay.
It's got that rye bite to it.
Yes.
But it's not overly strong. It's got a good flavor.
Mm-hmm.
It's
very
kind of like
smooth.
wasabi. I mean, it hits it kind of
it's
strong and
shockingly
it's like
smooth.
it just rolls down.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
this might be one of the smoothest, I'll say spirits, right? Because it's not a bourbon, or smoothest whiskeys at 110 proof.
110.
This is one of the smoothest I've ever tasted at 110 proof. I'm not going to lie.
No. At 110 proof, guys, I tell you, I'm going to give this one a 7.8.
At 110 proof.
Oh, whoa. I'm sorry.
Oh.
7.9.
You went up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not an 8, but God bless it, it's really close.
This is really easy to drink. You could easily sip on this on an evening,
Oh, for sure.
you know.
For sure. There's no burn. There's no harshness.
You could just like stick a straw in it.
So are we going to grade this against bourbons or we're just saying regardless of what
Well,
it is?
at this time right now, we're not set up for that. So,
like a scotch, we're not going to.
I mean,
We have a couple scotches out
God,
there.
this is a tough one. This is
yeah.
a tough one. I don't know how high to go. I mean, I like it a lot.
I'm trying to think what else
it's
is in
not
the
rich.
110 region.
But here's the thing. It's not rich, meaning it's just not bursting with flavor,
No.
but it's smooth as hell for 110.
I think I'm probably about 7.3 just because it tastes phenomenal. But when you think of the richness of some of these,
Right.
it's not quite there.
That's not its character. Its
There's-
character is it's smooth.
There's still a really good flavor, but it's not as rich as some of the other ones we've
I would
had.
agree with that. And I think a 7.3, no, 7.3, 7.4 is about perfect.
Right. That's
I would agree with you on that one.
Yep.
And I know you don't know our rating scale, but if you're
It's
gathering,
very arbitrary.
so you hey, give us very good, okay, or
I mean, so if I just based on what you guys have said,
okay,
I would go 7.5.
okay,
Yeah. Right there.
I mean, I think it's very good. It's very drinkable.
very drinkable.
Compared to the other ryes I've had,
I've had better
it's
ryes.
it's definitely up there.
Yeah, I
I think the Still Austin cast strength rye, that'd be one of my favorites.
yes, but that's 118.
Yeah, it's a little bit stronger. It is.
Yeah, I've had that one.
It's good.
Well, I'm enjoying it. This is a great night. The first half, we have tons of things to talk about too. We've got
we have a
robot dogs. We got FEMA,
Robot
and
dogs.
MGP bourbon. Oh yeah, that's right. The MGP in Illinois.
Big, yeah.
Do we want
that's
to jump on that since we're talking
Yeah,
about
let's
this?
talk
Yes,
about
let's
that.
talk about it.
Well, this is Paul's story that he sent us, and basically what it's saying is the bourbon
Well,
market is starting to soften.
It is
So,
softening.
but walk us through what MG. It's multi-grain products,
Correct.
and this is based in because a lot of people say
Indiana.
MGP
Indiana.
juice. It's Indiana, and this company makes a lot of juice. We call it the MGP product. A lot of juice for a lot of distilleries. I don't remember
yeah.
them all, but Jeff here, God bless their almanac. Why don't you spout out some of the folks that gobble up the MGP juice that these guys make?
I have no idea.
Really?
I think Bullet
Did we
used-
just stump them?
no. Well, I mean,
there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah,
Barrels.
Tons.
yes. I mean, when people want to get into the bourbon industry and they don't have a distillery, they don't have anything, that's where they go.
I would
They
feel
go to
comfortable
they go to MGP.
saying that 50% of the whiskeys out there are MGP juice.
I have no idea.
Maybe.
That seems high to me.
I
But
think Rebecca's Creek used
Some
MGP.
of those are MGP.
Yeah, I think some of those were MGP. I think Milam and Green is MGP.
And so it's significant from this perspective that they're thinking, I'm thinking that they're thinking that, hey, our juice is worth something. One, it's worth something because people are buying it as a starter.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Number two, this market, with this market and what's selling it to all these different companies, we have built up this distillery. We already have. We have the organization. We have the hardware to produce massive amounts of distillate.
That's
Massive.
what they're doing.
And now they're like, guess what, guys? We're making our own shit.
Well, they are. It's called Ross and Squibb
Yeah.
Distillery.
And Penelope.
And
well, they
they're
bought Penelope.
They're
Right,
going
but
to rock the world right now.
But here's
And these other companies, what are they going to do?
But here's the thing, right? So they have a shit ton of distillate aging, okay? Aging various years, whatever people are gonna buy, right? 3, 5, 8, 10. They have so much stored up, and the market is softening, and they have decided that they're going to scale back production because they see the writing on the wall, right? And that has to make a big part of the industry that is buying MGP product. It's got to make them nervous because that means there's going to be less of it. And then I don't know if that means price is going to go up, but I think they're doing this because there needs to be, I think they're anticipating that the market is going to soften and prices are going to come down.
I don't know about that. I think this is a cash grab for them, and I think it's kind of a dick move, but it's a shrewd business move because there are some businesses out there. It's kind of like having one of your vendors that sells you your ingredients, top elite ingredients that you get. And then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we're not going to sell you that anymore. We can, but the price is going to double up because we don't care about selling that because we're going to take it. We want to use it for our stuff. So if you want it, it's going to cost double. I think that's what they're doing.
I mean, the angle of the article was that they're anticipating prices are going to drop because the market is softening. It's saturated and people aren't buying it as much as they were during COVID, right? COVID was a huge time when there was the peak. It was the peak of the market, and it's definitely going down, and it's definitely saturated. So I don't know. I hear what you're saying.
It kind of reminds me.
I don't see it being a cornering of the market type of move. I
think it might be a combination of both.
I don't know.
I'm going to compare this to it. To agree with you, I'm going to compare this to like the boom of the beers. You know, you had like I'll bring up this company called Rogue. Rogue, you said Dead Guy Ale is it's an ale beer from a company called Rogue. Rogue produced hundreds of different beers.
Right.
You know, like kind of like Dogfish. Dogfish produced hundreds of different types of beers.
Okay.
A lot of these distilleries, these breweries have fallen off the face of the earth because of just exactly what you said. It becomes thin when your product isn't unique anymore because there's so many. You've got 100 different types of the same one. Well, God bless it. You're not in bed with anybody. But I remember when they first came out, Arrogant Bastard used to be like my favorite beer, and then they sold out. They stopped selling it in the quarts that they used to make it in. They changed the ingredients. I don't give a shit what they say. They did, because I remember the way it used to taste in the quarts. And then they switched to the cans, and then they came back with the quarts, and the whole process was different. So
Kind of fell apart, huh?
yeah, it is. And at the same time, you know, Jeff and I, we were traveling all over. You know, it was a mission. We're going to find the strongest effing beer that we could.
Right.
The Imperial Milk Dragon, you know, is that what it's called?
Dragon's Milk.
Dragon's Milk. It was an Imperial
Stout.
Imperial Stout. And it was like, 10, 12, 13%. And then you got like the barley wines that went up to 15, 16%.
Oh, yeah.
And then you became men.
No, we became fucking
bourbon.
fat.
Then we got really fat.
I mean,
okay.
That's what stopped it. That's why
we were just like,
I stopped drinking that
God.
stuff. I put on 15, 20 pounds fast.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm done. I stopped.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to drink that stuff now. To be
Yeah,
honest.
I can't even go back to it. Like, I won't drink Imperial
So,
Stouts
Jeff,
anymore.
did you find a story? Did you find something on the MGP? Do you have something on
Yeah,
your
I
phone?
have a list here. This is on Reddit, so take that for what it is. It says up-to-date list of MGP source bourbons. Some of these I'm not familiar of. Redline Dancing Goat.
Never heard of that.
Doc
Done
Swinson.
that?
Doc
we
Swinson,
we just had
we
one
just
of
had
those.
that last week.
Pinhook
not a
Vertical
fan.
Series.
We know Pinhook.
Oh.
Blue Run, which I'm familiar with those. Nulu, which you have one out there.
No, Nulu. Yeah. Nulu.
Backbone. Redemption, which we have a bunch of Redemption. Old Old Soul.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My son bought me a really expensive bottle of that.
Right. Smooth Ambler.
We know that one. These are
Uh,
all MGP.
Smoke Wagon. Yep.
Smoke Wagon's great.
Okaneden. Bell Mead.
Bell Mead. I've been to that
Okaneden.
distillery. That's in Nashville.
Penelope. It looks like Penelope 4-grain barrel strength Architect. Penelope has.
And Penelope's good.
There's
It's
a bunch
great.
Of, yeah, there's a
No.
Brothers Bond,
So, don't bring up that story.
which is terrible.
I know it is terrible. But the point is, MGP.
What happened there?
You don't remember the Colorado story where I was on the trying to call you guys and was like, "Hey, they have these."
Oh yeah.
They have They have 4 bottles
It
of
wasn't
the.
4.
I
Okay,
thought it was
3
like
bottles
I thought it was like he's not heavy, he's my brother kind of
of
moment.
E.H. Taylor.
EH, yeah. They were like, "You want E.H. Taylor for $40 a bottle?" And I was like, "Well, you know what? They're not answering, so
I'll take
just get
Brothers Bond.
I'll just get Brothers Bond." That was Michael. It was a disaster. They
It
will
was a
never
huge
let me
disaster.
let that
No.
down.
All right, well, that
Let
is
down.
interesting. I'm kind of wondering what their angle is. You know, I'm going to take it for face value that
Well,
that's
they're
what their
they're
plan is.
reducing their
Supply.
production.
Yeah, but doing that increases demand. I mean, what does it do? Reducing supply increases demand, right? And it gets more expensive. So how does that work?
Makes them money.
If they think it's going to soften, the market's going to soften. I don't understand.
I think this is a ploy. I think it's a business plan.
So they're
You know,
evil.
these guys are smart. Look, you know, they're in business for a reason.
Right.
You know, they've been selling to a lot of people out there. Who knows? There's an angle. There's always an angle.
Right.
Who
All
knows?
right. Well, I'm excited
It's a
about the
chess
second
game.
half. I'm excited for the second
too.
half. I know we haven't touched on a lot of political things that are going on, but I know it's on everybody's
Yeah,
mind.
we'll talk about a
There
couple
is-
things.
There's a lot of things that are happening right now, and I loved that we're talking about your cookie company.
Awesome. Thank you.
And we're going to touch on that some more in the second half. So.
Thank you, Mr. Producer, for staying on top of things like this. Check us out on Dudes Like Us Podcast, Dudes Like Us Woodcrafting. Check out the Baking Boozing Company. Oh my God, say it again.
Boozy Baking
The Boozy
Company.
Baking
Boozy
Company.
Baking Company.
God damn it!
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Boozy.
Boozy Baking Company.
You need
Boozy
a jingle.
Baking Company. I even wrote it up.
We're going to come up with a jingle in the second half.
Boozy Baking Company. No, that's not going to work.
Boozy Baking Company.
No.
Oh my God, BBC.
There you go.
Boozy Baking Company.
Boozy
Wow,
Baking
that just
Company.
got dark. Dudes Like Us, I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Michael.
You guys we'll see you in a couple minutes.